All right, everyone, 10:30. It is time for Weather Extra on your Thursday morning. I'm 48 First Alert Meteorologist Eric Burke. Yesterday, a prime example of a memorable day of severe weather for many of our neighbors off to the west into parts of Mississippi. Arkansas, of course, hit very hard through parts of Missouri, southern Illinois, Indiana, western Kentucky, West Tennessee. And then if you join us for our morning newscast, we had numerous tornado warnings all across Middle Tennessee, and it was part of that boundary. But even us yesterday in parts of northwest Alabama, if you watched meteorologist Jeff Denoyer at all, he was tracking those severe storms that we had popping up through the late afternoon into the early evening, mainly for those western areas. And again today, those western counties, for example, Franklin, Colbert, Lauderdale, maybe Lawrence, even Limestone, you guys have the highest chance of seeing any storms potentially popping up as we go into the afternoon. So watching that threat, again, it's that conditional threat, not a we don't know, it's just kind of a more wait and see. But that boundary late last night into this morning, thankfully, held off. I thought when I got into work this morning, and Jeff was still here, kind of keeping an eye on things, babysitting some storms overnight, I thought we were actually going to get a tornado warning for just that small portion of Lauderdale County. Weather Service in Huntsville did not end up writing up that warning and pulling the trigger on that. There wasn't really a need to. It was off to our northwest. But I thought, if anything, it would just be that sliver. And we were kind of talking about you in Waterloo a lot yesterday. Well, another day where you guys might be kind of the hot spot of any potential strong to severe storms. With the radar right now, nothing going on. There's still a lot of activity off to our north. There is a tornado warning right now. That's actually from the Weather Service there in Jackson, Kentucky. And I know that when I worked in Lexington, that was one of our two weather offices. We had Louisville, and then we had Action Jackson, as we called it. They call it that in Mississippi too. But out there in eastern Kentucky, ongoing tornado warning there. But it doesn't look like it's confirmed or anything. I didn't look too closely on radar when I was setting up the Weather Extra segment here, but still a lot of heavy rainfall. But this morning, the newscast started at 4:30, and it was just red polygon of tornado warning after another, just one after another, all the way from basically I-75 almost out to I-55 there in Mississippi. It was just a line of them. It looked like train tracks. And I know Selmer, Tennessee, yesterday likely had a tornado too, a lot of damage too, and we'll continue to, of course, update you on the damage from yesterday's severe weather outbreak. And then you just go into northern Mississippi right now. We're warm, we're humid, the clouds are starting to break up a little bit, but just tracking some showers. And as of right now, we're not expecting anything severe. It's the late afternoon, evening when the atmosphere is most unstable that we'll probably have some of those storms starting to pop up there too. And watching that closely for any impacts potentially to northwest Alabama. But the people that saw the severe weather yesterday are likely looking at another day of severe weather today. And then, not to be overlooked, everyone focuses on the tornadoes and the wind and the large hail, but this is going to be a long duration potential flooding event, as some of those communities that saw the severe weather, now they're trying to clean up, and then you're looking at 6 inches to a foot of rainfall potentially as you go through Friday. We've got some heavy rain of our own coming as we get into the weekend, and we're going to talk a lot more about that weekend forecast coming up. But there's the big setup. If you go all the way up into the northeast, they're dealing with winter weather. So this graphic looks very similar to yesterday, and that's because it's more or less the same setup. Now, we don't have some of those very high atmospheric variables that would condone another day of a severe weather outbreak. And one thing we have working for us, it's actually an area of high pressure over the Gulf, kind of toward Florida, and that's going to build a little ridge almost over us in parts of Georgia and portions of the Tennessee Valley, and that ridge is essentially holding that boundary, that trigger for the severe weather, off to our west. But we still find ourselves with that conditional setup for strong to severe storms today, mainly focused on northwest Alabama, but can't rule out maybe a pop-up shower or a storm elsewhere. I just think if we do see a strong to severe storm, it would be in our western counties or across northern Mississippi into parts of western and central Tennessee too. So let's go through it hour by hour. Skipping forward now, I know it's 10:30, but we've got 1:30. That's where the data starts here. Should be probably partly to mostly cloudy. I think we'll see more sunshine today. And for those keeping track at home, we did in fact tie the high temperature record for Wednesday at 86 for Huntsville International Airport and also Northwest Alabama Regional Airport. They, I believe, tied or broke their high temperature record too. But as we go through the afternoon, skipped right through it there with that pause point, sorry, but it looks like we could see an isolated stronger storm popping up over northwest Alabama, and then very similar to what we had last night into this morning, there's another chance of seeing a few showers, some storms that are a bit more organized could produce that threat of hail, maybe some isolated strong wind gust, and potential for frequent lightning. I think our overnight tornado threat is very low. This morning we had the tornado watch just for Lauderdale and Colbert County. When we're talking far northwest Alabama, those are those two counties. So this is tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Temperatures warm and muggy, 60s and 70s out the door. Seeing some clearing there as we go into late morning, early afternoon on Friday, and future radar or the model is bringing in another round of at least isolated convection over parts of central and northern Mississippi. But notice how it still stays just off to the west. It's that ridge of high pressure kind of keeping us in that bubble and protecting us too. So that's what we're looking at. And then as we go into late Friday night, again, Trash Panda home opener out at Toyota Field. Should be a nice Friday evening to be at the ballpark. A little bit breezy, kind of like what we have today. But by late Friday night into Saturday morning, could see a quick round of showers. A lot of the day Saturday is going to be dry. It's going to be much like we had yesterday, and today we warm up into the mid-80s, kind of a breezy, humid day. But look what starts happening on the left-hand side of your screen there, and that's going to be the storms that are firing up ahead of that cold front. That cold front is going to pack a punch not only as far as temperatures go, but we could see strong to severe storms with this, and we're keeping an eye on that potential for severe weather. Going over some of the data, we'll let you know if it turns into a 48 first alert weather day or what we're expecting as far as timing impacts. That timeline will continue to dial in for you, but a good portion of your Saturday is at least dry. If you've got some yard work to do or something like that, a heavy rain in the forecast, but there is going to be the threat for probably some strong winds, maybe some hail, lightning with that, and we'll continue to update you on the tornado threat if there is one coming in with this cold front. Now we get into Saturday evening and things start to become a bit more widespread. Heavy showers and storms continue as we go into Sunday morning now. So if you're an early riser for your morning walk, run, heading for church worship services, we're still tracking heavy rain and maybe some storms for Sunday morning. And that just kind of lingers through late morning, even into the afternoon before it finally starts to push off to the east, and we should start to dry out by Sunday night, but that's when that colder air starts to come in. Temperatures this morning, we haven't moved a lot, and a lot of that is based on the cloud cover we have right now. The wind is out of the south, and then temperatures will warm up likely into the low to mid 80s later on today. So temps warm. A lot of people yesterday commenting, I can't believe how warm it is. It's only April 2nd. Well, we get warm days like this, but we did tie the high temperature record. It shows you just how abnormally warm we were. Wind gusts today. Yesterday was windy, had the wind advisory. Today we'll call it breezy, kind of downgrade our adjective just a bit, but still some gusts 20 to 30 miles per hour in the forecast as we go through the evening hours. Pollen count stays in the high, extreme, miserable category for the tree and grass pollen. The rain and storms that we see Saturday evening into Sunday should knock down the pollen count at least a little bit into the low to moderate category, so a little relief coming there. Temperatures for the next couple of hours, mid-80s. I think we see more sunshine through the afternoon, just kind of adding to that instability, that conditional threat of storms that we're forecasting potentially for northwest Alabama. But we'll stay very warm and muggy as we go through the evening and overnight too. 3-day forecast looks like this. 87 tomorrow. I anticipate more dry hours, isolated shower and storm potential over Mississippi for Friday. Great evening for the ball, a great day and night to go out to the ballpark. And here's why I'm talking about that flooding threat as well. Those same areas that were hit hard with storms and tornadoes yesterday now have to focus on this long duration flooding event. And eventually they're going to start to see some rises in creeks, streams, and rivers. So that's another focus, not just that severe weather threat, but the potential for flash flooding too. Here's your weekend. Big changes coming. That cold front comes in Saturday evening, tracking that chance for rain, storms, potentially strong to severe storms Saturday night into Sunday. Sunday will kind of be a damp day, a lot of rainfall through the morning, even continuing into the afternoon with a few storms. I don't anticipate severe storms per se on Sunday, maybe during the earliest part of the day. Showing some breaks in the cloud cover at the moment. And then I think we pull back the view here. Come on, clicker. I think I just went right through it. But for tonight, isolated shower and storm potential, just like we had overnight into this morning. I don't think we'll have a tornado watch again for those two counties or Mississippi or parts of Tennessee, but that's up to the Storm Prediction Center and the coordinating offices. But if we do see storms, it would likely be to our north and west. Here's how we end your week on Friday. Similar day, temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, plenty of dry hours, still breezy, south-southeasterly wind, about 10 to 15 miles per hour. And let's get right to your 7 and now 10-day forecast. There you go. I mean, very unseasonably warm stretch of weather here as we go into the rest of the work and school week. We go into Saturday. Cold front comes in, does its job as far as being the trigger for the rain showers and storms. And then look at the cool down too. And you have to pay attention to not just the highs there on Monday and Tuesday, which might come as a shock to the system, but it's the lows, 37 on Tuesday morning and 36 on Wednesday morning, potentially in frost territory. So that's going to play a big role potentially if you have started planting or you just have things growing maybe in your front or backyard. Some of your flowers, or for example, have to keep an eye on those lows in case we see a frost. I'm probably going to mess this up. So my friend AJ here is going to come over and help me. But that wraps up the weather part of things here. And just kind of want to share some personal news, good news coming. I'm not leaving you, I promise that. But some of you may know my wife Heather. She was diagnosed with stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma in October. But yesterday she was fortunate enough to finish her 12th and final chemotherapy. And we got some video here just to show you. There she is, ringing the bell there at Clearview Cancer Institute. And yeah, it was a great day yesterday, obviously a long time coming. Anyone that has dealt with cancer themselves or have a family member or a relative, a close friend, you know, there are a lot of bad days. And the way she handled things from start to finish with a positive outlook, a great sense of humor through the whole thing, and just to see her so sick. And then yesterday with a big smile on her face, and she's doing a lot better. She's doing some workout classes that's really helped her physically, I think mentally as well. But so many people to thank us. And again, you guys that follow my Facebook page have been so incredibly supportive, and it means so much to us. Can't thank you enough. All the messages, all the comments, you guys sharing your stories about your cancer experiences and battles, and it was just so overwhelming at times how much you guys have reached out and helped us too. So some great people here at the station, my friends locally, our families obviously played a huge role, but it was definitely a good day yesterday. You could see her next to the bell, had my Team Heather shirt on. There's both sets of parents, my parents on the left, hers there on the right. Huge day for us, and I just, the more I look back at it now, it's really kind of settling in that, you know, this journey is over to an extent, but obviously we'll have plenty of follow-up appointments. She'll have some scans, some lab work and everything just to keep an eye on things. But as of right now, everything looks great. Couldn't be happier, more proud of her. I had the easy side of things, just being the caretaker, and a big shout out to the people at Clearview Cancer Institute too in Huntsville. That whole facility is fantastic. The people, the doctors, the nurses, the people you check in with, the people who do labs, vitals. That's awesome. So I know we're kind of getting away from weather, but you guys have been so involved in this whole process, and just wanted to give you that update and kind of end our Thursday weather extra on kind of a positive note. So that's it for me. I'll be on Tennessee Valley Living with Peyton Walker, and join us for the news at noon with Gina Benitez. Again, thank you guys at home for all the well wishes and everything. Hope you have a great Thursday. I'll post some pictures to my page and some video this morning in case you missed it. But for now, have a great day. Stay cool. Turned on my air conditioning last night because it's getting to be pretty warm. But have a great day. Thanks for your time.